Between all too early mornings and way too late nights, putting out fires and firing off new ideas, you deserve to be rewarded for growing your business. That's why American Express Blue Business Plus gives you 2 times membership rewards points on your first $50,000 in purchases per year. It's rewards that make running your business even more rewarding. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/blue-business-plus. Amex Blue Business Plus, built for business by American Express.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Now, in today's news, I should do episodes like that. I feel like it's much more easier because, yeah, overall, I have like a news channel, and I try to kind of follow in the footsteps of Drama Alert or Scarce, for my YouTube fans out there, if you follow YouTube news channels and drama channels and stuff. But anyways, I might start doing that, when something crazy then happen, give my input on it. I've never done that before, but I guess making it an official thing where this, the many things that I do talk about, I will report on some news. Might make the episodes longer. I should just do that, set just myself a timer, just for an hour and things, and just, talk about a bunch of random things. I want to make my episodes longer, but I'm dang, there's never enough things to talk about. I don't want to talk about too many things, and I don't have an idea for tomorrow's episode, so my episodes do come off as short. Sorry, listen to it in slow motion, I guess, but yeah, I'm working here, I'm trying. But anyways, so Shane Dawson, he a while ago did some very bad things to the singer and Will Smith and Jane Pinkett Smith's daughter, Willow Smith. So he pretended like he was touching himself, if I'm going to use a politically correct term and things. He was, having sexual relations with himself while he was pretending to, but he was looking at a picture or billboard thing of Willow Smith out in public. And for those to let you guys know, Willow Smith is, how old is that girl? She's 17, right? I think she is. She's either 17 or she's at a young age. 19. Whoa, wow. Dang, that girl 19 years old? I don't know why I still assumed she was underage, because I thought, wasn't she I guess it was 10 years ago. Yeah. But regardless, 10 years ago. Okay, so she's 19, and Shane Dawson did this thing 10 years ago. He did it years ago. This wasn't yesterday or, a few months ago. This is years ago. So let's say if it was 2 years ago, she's 17, underage. This was far before that. I think she was, she had to have been maybe in middle school. But she was at a young age, and that's resurfaced. There's a lot of things from YouTubers past that's just resurfacing and going crazy right now. And it's freaking what's the Jenna Marbles, her past then came and hunted her. I feel it's not as serious as Shane Dawson's. I feel Shane Dawson's, his is a tad bit more serious, because you have to understand. See, that's just a little fun fact about me. There's just no way possible I can disrespect, especially if they've never even done nothing to me. I can't do nothing like that disrespectful to somebody that I don't even know, regardless of their age, whether they're young or whether they're over the age of 18. I still cannot do some stuff like that. Probably in a jokingly way, because I know I do say that a lot. It's if somebody that I'm a fan of, I'll give them the Beyonce treatment. Overall, the Beyonce treatment is crying, screaming, losing my mind or something like that. That would be the only thing that I would do. But I will make sure that I am cool with that person. I will make sure I'm cool with anybody around them. So if it is a minor, I will make sure I'm cool with the parents. Cause there are musicians, for an example. There's young musicians that's still in high school, and they come out with good music and things. So I definitely would like try to be cool with the parents and everybody and stuff, you know, around them and things. But overall, I'm like, I can't do what Shane Dawson did. That's something that's just like massively disrespectful. Massively disrespectful. And that's something where I'm like, look, no apology or any of that. Like, and overall, like, yeah, he can't apologize. But Jada Pinkett Smith, she came out and said, like, there ain't no excuses. Like, what's up with that? Like, why would you do something like that? You know, like, you sit down, you think about it, you're like, bro, why? Like, you could have done anything else. But, I mean, it just, I don't know. It seemed like back then, like, when, you know, YouTubers wasn't as famous as it. Because I feel like YouTubers today, like, they're the spokesperson for a lot of things, you know? Like, YouTubers, they got, like, a lot of fame behind their name and stuff. So, back then, I felt like it wasn't really like that, you know? Like, people, it was like, it was there, but it wasn't, like, how it is today. Like, I feel like today, the fame and fortune, like, all of that stuff that a YouTuber will have today was not the same, like, how it was back then. And YouTubers was like in the same standings. Like, I remember the two biggest YouTubers at the time was Ray William Johnson and Smosh. Those guys was going like, they were pretty much like T-Series and PewDiePie, like back in the day. Like, they were going back and forth with like who's gonna have the most subscribers and stuff. And I remember like people would just watch their videos, leave a comment, done. Like, now today, like, oh my goodness, you see. Like, I mean, and, you know, fan pages were there and stuff, but I feel like now, today, like, the way fans are, it wasn't like how it was back then. And that's overall the type of person that I am. Like, if I am a fan of somebody, I'm a fan of them. Like, I'm a fan of their work. I hope to be, you know, one day inspired to do that plus more. You know, like, a lot of YouTubers I watched back in the day, like, I don't know, like, I will watch them from time to time. Like, prime example, KSI. Now, I'm a fan of that guy. I'm a fan of his music. I'm a fan of his YouTube videos. And I used to watch him every single day. I used to watch him all the time. But then I sat down and I realized I can do these things myself. Like, I can make FIFA videos. I can make music. You know? I can train to be a boxer. I can train to do all these different things and stuff. And I slowly found myself, like, not watching a lot of YouTubers that I used to watch back in the day. I slowly found myself, like, not really watching them. You know, like, there's some YouTubers that I still watch, like, from time to time. For the most part, I'm like, yeah, I'm usually just, for the most part, I have to say that there's a very selected, like, you know, YouTubers that I watch without doing, like, reaction videos and stuff. And overall, like, when I do reaction, like, I am a fan of the people that I react to. I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of them and stuff. But I also see it as, like, work. You know, it's a job. It's a job for me to do a reaction video or a gaming video or any other videos that I do. But I just, like, I don't know. I can't be that crazy and wild fan. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I ain't never really been in a situation to know how I would react if I did see somebody that I know. But I would be respectful. That's one thing I'm like, you know, you have to do that. And I feel like that's the problem with a lot of fans today. It's like a lot of, like, young people that are fans, like middle schoolers and, like, early, like, age high schoolers and things. You know, like, there's even some weirder people than that. I know I'll never forget the one story, and I'm like, man, I hope and pray to God that I never have to deal with a fan like that. But the one YouTuber, Gavin Free, he dealt with a crazy fan. And, yeah, that story was pretty crazy. Let's see, Gavin Free, crazy fan. Yeah, that's, you look it up, and it's like, first story that pops up is, NBC, News, and they talk about it. Dang, that was 2 years ago? That's wild, but anyways, yeah, that's, yeah, but it was like, a fan broke into his house. Overall was like trying to, I think, kidnap Gavin Free's wife and kill him, but then the cops showed up, and then the guy killed himself. And I'm like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, it's, you know, it's crazy how, like, fans can act like that. You know, like, it's just like, it's not normal for fans to act like that. So getting back onto this Shane Dawson situation, like, why would you do something like that? I'm saying it's crazy how, like, people, because I don't know, like, when I see stuff like Shane Dawson is over party on Twitter, like, that's like the #1 trend or something. I guess I can like, I'll like click on it and see what's going on and stuff. But for the most part, I don't really find nothing. I usually find like people just like, haters of his, like, just saying how they don't like his videos and stuff. And I never really seen like anything wrong with his videos, but I never sat down and watched his videos. I remember I used to watch his videos like back in the day, but then I just stopped, and it wasn't even something like, I don't know, like I guess I'm not really a fan of him. Like, not to be like rude or disrespectful or something. He's just one of those YouTubers that I just didn't, really watching things. But I did know I did know that he had like some good videos out there and stuff. I know a lot of people would talk about how his documentaries was good. So I knew of Shane Dawson. I knew he had some good videos, but I didn't really know like about his past. I didn't really know about the crazy things that he did. And this Willow Smith situation, yeah, that's probably by far the craziest thing I had to say I've seen from him. That's something where I'm like, bro, I don't understand, like, why would you do something like that? And Jaden Smith, was I saying Willow Smith or Jaden Smith? I felt like I might have accidentally said Jaden Smith at some point in time, but I'm not going to start this whole podcast. If I messed up and said Jaden Smith, I meant to say Willow Smith, but now talking on Jaden Smith, so it's crazy. Jaden Smith, like, trended last night and today. So last night he was trending, or I think it was like somebody else with the name Jaden was trending, but Jaden Smith was like trending along with it because people are all like, yo, why is Jaden Smith trending? Like, because he does go like by just Jaden, but he does go by like Jade Smith and Jaden and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I seen that he was trending and things, and so I made a couple of tweets. One of them was a meme, and then the other one was just like, I don't know why Jaden Smith is trending, but I guess like put my opinion on Jaden Smith. His 90 video was pretty good. That video was good. The song is good too. If y'all haven't heard his song 90, that's a good song. I was like, dang, that's it's one of those songs where it's like, I think oh yeah, that's what I was it was, man, what is the name of that podcast? It's because Joe Budden used to be on that podcast, and I can't Joe Budden DJ Academics, because they'll probably talk about it. Everyday Struggle, that was the name of that podcast. But dang, now what was I overall talking about? Like, that's when you just get so distracted in things, talking about one thing, and then you trying to remember something, and then dang. Okay, so it was like Everyday Struggle, Joe Budden. Dang, what was I? Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I had to like backtrack and things. So I remember on that show, they were talking about, I think they did mention Jaden Smith too, but they were overall talking about like how when people have successful parents, you don't really hear too much about the kids. And that's something I'm like, I don't know, like, because I was just watching like a Martin Sheen movie today, and then seeing the success of his two kids, Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen. It's like, maybe with some, but not all. But and even you hear where it's like there are people that don't have successful parents, and they still, do wrong in the world. Look at a lot of those like child actors and stuff. That one guy, Orlando Brown, I think that's his name. Orlando Bloom. Oh, Brown. I was like, what? That's a white man. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, Orlando Brown, it's not like, I don't think he had like any, I don't remember hearing anything about like his parents being famous or, they were known for something, but he was like known for That's So Raven. But now that man, he is gone. Like, that man, I don't know what's wrong with him today, but overall, speaking more on Jaden Smith, but no, like Jaden Smith, like, two successful parents. Both of them had played in good movies and TV shows. I mean, his dad is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, like I'm saying, like, I feel like that, that man, he had, like, his parents have so much fame that it would be even harder for him to have some fame, But to see where he is at right now in his career, like, I am honestly, like, happy and proud of the kid. I am. I'm like, that is crazy. That is seriously, I mean, yeah, he definitely, if his parents were his coach and stuff, like, yeah, you had some good coaches, man. I'm saying, like, that's some, like, really good stuff right there to, have like that much like fame and stuff to your name where it's like, oh, okay, like then the spotlight's gonna be on you for a second and people want to see what you bring to the table. And here he's like, he can star in movies, TV shows, be good in that. I remember his one show that he had on Netflix, The Get Down. I was really hoping they should have gave like maybe a spinoff and had it where it was like focused on him, because his character, it was funny how like mysterious his character was, but also how good his character. It's like one of those characters where it's like if he leaves the show, like there's going to be a part of the show that's missing, you know. But yeah, then his music. I mean, I feel like there was at a point in time where I was just like binge listening. I had to not binge watching, but binge listening to a bunch of his music. His music is pretty good, but I like how I went from like Shane Dawson, Willow Smith, that whole drama, to talking about how successful Jaden Smith is. Like, that's crazy how I just get like sidetracked and stuff and then just start talking about some random stuff. But you know what? I'll get back onto that situation, you know, but I feel like that we just gonna have to, you know, give a round of applause to Jaden Smith, because I'm saying, like, that man, I feel like he had like a lot to prove, but he proved everybody wrong. Selling out shows, performing. Yeah, it was like, I think it was a concert I seen, and it was like, was it a DMX concert? It looked like there was like a lot of people there. I'm like, dang, that man out here doing like halftime shows and stuff. Like, I mean, he hasn't, but it looked like he would be performing. He should perform at a halftime show. I feel like that'd be pretty dope to Jaden Smith to do that. Yeah, we need to work on that. Jaden Smith at a Super Bowl halftime show. That needs to happen. But anyways, but no, Jaden Smith, he was pretty upset at Shane Dawson. He was like, yeah, he made a couple of tweets and things. And, I mean, rightfully so. Like, that's the dude's little sister, man. Like, that's like that, because, you know, and that's the thing where it's like Shane Dawson can say some stuff like, oh, he was just joking, he didn't mean to, or he didn't know what he was thinking. He could say everything possible, but I'm like, you have to understand, back when you did that, that girl was a minor. She's 19 now, but regardless, whether however old she is, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that on however old she was back then, and I wouldn't do that today. She's 19 years old. You guys gotta understand, that is a person and that is a woman. And I know people about like, and that's what was crazy about it. So Jaden Smith came out, defended his sister. Overall was saying like how wrong that was and how upset he was, and people were defending Shane Dawson, saying like, oh, that's his past, like he didn't mean to and stuff. I'm like, but the fact that he did, it ain't like millions of people are doing that. That man, whatever reason why he decided to do that, whether he was drunk or high, he did that. So you cannot defend those actions and then make it seem like, oh, it's just he deserves like a little slap on the wrist and then, you know, it's over with and things. No. Now I can see why people are saying that, you know, for the things that he did in his past, he should overall like quit YouTube also. But I don't know. Like, I know people will probably ask me like, how does that overall make you feel? Like, what would you do if that, like, and if I was in Jaden Smith's situation where somebody had disrespected my sister like that, I would straight up be like, you know, let them know that is disrespectful. And next time I see you, there might be a situation. So hopefully the next time I see you, I'm calm. I'm not angry. You know, I have food in my stomach, Red Bull in my system, and I'm just having the best day ever. But if if I have like an angry day and I seen Shane Dawson and stuff, yeah, I'm like, dude, you better keep your distance. Make sure I do not see you. Because that's that type of stuff that make a person violent. But overall, would I want him to quit YouTube? It's his choice. It's his choice. And even speaking on Jenna Marbles' situation, I think I even said that too. Like, if it's her choice, she wants to quit YouTube, she very well can do that. There'd be no hard feelings towards it. I just feel like her situation, comparing that to Willow Smith and Shane Dawson's situation, not bad. What she did, I would honestly, and if both of those two things was out on the table, which one would I want to do? Quote unquote blackface, mock Asian people, and then I guess she said something about like women, I think. But yeah, I think I'd rather go through Jenna Marbles' situation. Because I'm saying, like, comparing that to Shane Dawson, you're out here having like a relation with yourself, like looking at a minor and things. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. And that's that type of stuff where it's like, you definitely gonna lose out on sponsors if you have any. You definitely gonna lose out on a lot of deals if you had anything like, you know, that was going to be like dealt out for you and stuff. Like, I'm saying, like, that's just not normal to do stuff like that. And that's sort of just like, you know, just like some words of wisdom, some like a little advice from me. Do not disrespect women. Don't disrespect. That's one thing that I just recently learned, is not to call women females. And it's crazy because you think like, you know, somebody that's not thinking, you know, you refer to a woman as a female like, oh, like, you know, it was a female, she was this tall, like, looked like this and things. Like, I guess it's disrespectful calling a woman a female. And that's something where I'm like, luckily, you know, like, being like so heavily into the internet and stuff, you know, you learn that type of stuff, because I'm saying, like, that's something where I'm like, I guess it's equivalent to calling a woman the B word. So that's what I'm like, now I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then yeah, I had to stop myself or correct myself on calling a woman a female. And that's something where it's all like, that's overall, like, you know, I'm overall talking about like her sex, like who she is and stuff. They're like, she's a woman, she's a, like, you know, like, I'm seeing, like, you know, to me there ain't no difference between the words, whether it's a woman or referring to her as a female, but like, it's disrespectful, I guess. So yeah, I've corrected myself on calling women females. I don't call women the B word. That's one thing that I definitely don't do. I was surprised. It was funny one day, I remember I told some coworkers that at my job, and I can't remember, like, I think we had dealt with like a angry customer or something like that. And they asked me like, oh, Tyler, like, was it, I can't remember like overall like what was the whole like backstory, but I remember it somehow at some point in time I did say like, oh, I don't refer to women as the B word. I'm like, I'm sorry, like, that's not me. I'm like, I'll roast her, I'll say anything else about her, saying she got like, you know, her kneecaps higher than the other one and things. I'll say some stuff like that that's like silly, but it's not gonna, it's like the first time of it being said, you know, like, she doesn't, like, you know, I know I got a big forehead, but I'm like, dang, like, that forehead, it's like seeing some things. Like I said, like, you know, I roast people, but I ain't gonna call a person out their name. I'm not gonna cut like straight to it and things, because it wouldn't make any sense for me to like tell people like, oh, it's dumb to call me the N-word, which it is. But if you roast me, if you say some things like to me and stuff, I probably overall would laugh about it. You know, I'm like, oh, this person wants to have some fun. Okay, cool. You know, like, we just gonna get into a full-on roasting battle. But I'm not gonna, you know, cut straight to it and be like, oh, you a female, you a B-word, you this, you that, and stuff. I'm like, no. Like, your shoulders are just way too far out. Looks like your shoulders look like you wearing a jacket. Like, and you wearing a short sleeve shirt, so I can tell you ain't wearing no jacket. You got big shoulders. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, your butt looks like it's being sucked in. It doesn't, you have, like, no butt structure. Like, there's just nothing there. Like, it's reversed. Like, I'm saying, like, I just don't understand that. And I'm like, but yeah, overall, and I know people are like, bro, that's just as worse. I roast people. You guys gotta understand, I roast people. I don't like, you know, call people derogatory names or like words or anything. If I do, like, it's like a funny name, you know, it's something that's like not, you know, it's going to, if it is, like, I know I've called people like a nut or something, like, you know, referring to like them being crazy or something. If that's ever a time where that like is ended up being a derogatory term or something, then I'm like, or no, I know, because it was funny, I was just watching the Dave Chappelle show, and he was talking about how like people got on him about doing a crackhead bit in there, and I know I referred to some of my friends as like crackheads and stuff, and my friends have referred to me as a crackhead. We overall know that we're not crackheads, so why should we trip? Why should we be mad at each other? You know, and I'm like, that's what I'm like, yeah, it was me and my friend Melissa. We will always, when we worked together, we will always call each other like crackheads and all that stuff, but we were having fun. We were overall making each other laugh. We were having a good time. If we wasn't having a good, if we were like arch enemies, we still would probably call each other crackheads. But, you know, but I guess it's like a mutual respect. Like, I ain't gonna call her out her name, she ain't gonna call me out her name, or yeah, she ain't gonna call me out her name and stuff. That makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, overall, like, it's just a respect for a person, you know, and that's pretty much like the understanding of this episode. You have to respect one another. And I know people are gonna probably like try to dig up things from my past. Like, look, I don't be tweeting or making videos or doing stuff like that. So if you want to scroll through the thousands and thousands of tweets and stuff that I've made or Instagram posts, whatever, I don't care. I'm saying, like, I'm a clean person. You know, I keep it clean. Maybe back in the day, like, I was a little bit more grimier and stuff. Like, I would roast a person, but I would say some like highly hurtful stuff. But my thing is like, I'm a face-to-face person. I usually say or do things to a person's face. I'm not going to be that person where I'm like on the internet or something, you know, talking bad about them or something, like, unless it's somebody, you know, that did some bad things. But yeah, for the most part, I'm a face-to-face individual. I like a confrontation and stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's why I don't really like handle that stuff too well. Like, well, not too well, but I just can't take it serious when a person's like bad talking me on the internet or something. I'm like, they're not overall saying this to my face, so why should any of this stuff matter? You know, you like sit, and that's overall, like, that's one thing for sure. It's like you have to sit down and ask Shane Dawson. I'm like, what would you do if both Willow Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith was standing across the street and they seen you do that? At that point, you cannot give them that fan treatment. You can't be like, oh my god, it's Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, like, oh my god, like, I love you guys so much. Like, you can't do that. That's all out the window. They just seen you disrespect their underage daughter. So do you honestly think that they're going to be hearing anything that you have to say, any apologies or any of that stuff? I'm saying, like, people, they just don't, you know, some of the things that they say or do. That's why I like what a lot of people, when some like racist tweets or videos come out of them, you know, saying some things, like, I'm just like, you know, like, and that's one thing that I have to say. I always refer to this. It's like the one thing that I really love referring to, because it's something that stuck with me. But it was my friend of mine's, which happened to be my supervisor at my job. And I can't remember what had happened. I think it was like me and another employee was like beefing or something. And, or actually, no, I think it was a customer, because I was beefing with, like, employees and customers. We made one employee and, like, many customers and stuff. But anyways, I think, yeah, a customer had said something crazy to me. And I was like, I remember I was like, I was kind of offended by it, because I was just like, you know, and I think that's what it was. Like, he was mad at the fact that I had shortchanged them, and he gonna make a comment saying that, you know, overall, like, I didn't go through college and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you serious? It was like a few pennies. I'm like, you're really tripping over a few pennies, and you're most likely making over $100,000 a year working for one of the biggest clothing companies in the world, Nordstrom's. And I'm like, do you really? That's why I'm all like, look, you know what? I'll give a person their full change and all that stuff. I don't, you know, that it's obviously, it's their change and things, but don't disrespect me like that. It's like, luckily I was at work. Luckily it's at a point in time in this world where, you know, you gotta turn the other cheek. Because I'm saying, most likely if I had been in high school and I say, if you don't take your chinless self up out I would have said some hurtful things. I seriously, there were some things building up in my head to where I was like going to go back to my younger days. I'm like, you know what? Because I might lose my job. And I am using, like, the income from this job to, like, help me out with, like, all my YouTube stuff and things. So I'm saying, I'm going to let this one slide. But if he does make any comments again in the future, I'm sorry, but you guys are going to have no choice but to fire me. I'm not going to assault the man unless he assaults me first. But if he insults me again, then there will be some things being said. I'm hitting every year of my life when I've ever said anything mean, or I've done, like, yeah, mostly said stuff mean. But yeah, and I'm every one of those years, every Tyler Jamal Moss, every TMossBoss, from each and every year, all the way from year one, that is all going to just come together, okay? Because I have to say, for the most part, like, each year I've, like, you know, have changed, you know, became a bigger person. But I would go back to my younger days, and each and everything I said mean to a person, that's all going to be built up. And that man's going to feel it all. And most likely, he might cry. He might cry. And you know what? I will not care. That is the all-time goal. I want to make a person cry if they insult me. So, Yeah, I'm a little bit evil-minded. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm sorry. I can't help it. You know, if you disrespect me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say some things, but anyways, but no. So my supervisor, she said like when a person, a person can apologize, and they can apologize a million times, But I'm gonna add a little bit onto what she said and things. But she overall said like a person can apologize, but the damage has been done, which is true. A person can apologize millions and millions and millions of times. They can apologize every single day for the rest of their life. But they have to understand what you said because you apologize. What you said is not going to disappear. It is not going to change. That's why there's a lot of people that are actively doing things to me still till this day. And if they ever do think an apology is going to fix it all, like, no, an apology is not going to fix it all. An apology is not going to, seal the, problem and all of that. No, it's going to, it's just going to, shine, maybe a little bit of light. But there is going to be many, many things that you have to do for a person in order for them to forget that one thing that you did to them. And even then, you can do as many things that you possibly can for a person, but you have to understand what you did, that is never, ever going to disappear. A person is never, ever going to stop thinking about that. You did something to that person to hurt them. You did something to that person to offend them. And and I know I've done things to people where I've offended them and I've hurt them and stuff. I've apologized, but I know an apology ain't going to change nothing. That's just something I can do at the time. And the person, and to the other person that's receiving the apology, they have the choice of accepting the apology or just, and that's what you overall should do. You can accept the apology, but you don't overall have to be friends with that person. You don't have to talk to that person on a regular basis. You can accept that apology and you can go on with your life. And that's what I want people to do. Accept the apology, move on with your life. Just move on. Go your separate ways. Y'all ain't gotta talk about each other. Y'all ain't gotta say anything to each other. Apologize for what you did. Move on. And yeah, if that, and if that person, if they try being cool with you, I guess maybe hear them out and see what they want to say and see what they want to do and things. But yeah, it's probably best in situations where it's a person's if a whole family is offended, it's probably best say your apology and move on. And I don't even think he might be working on a video. He probably ain't said no tweet or anything. Shane Dawson. Oh, he did come out. He came out with a video yesterday taking accountability. Is that what they're overall talking about? Shane Dawson actually replied. Did he reply? They show his name is at the top. Maybe it's it's the trending thing. Twitter be adding some stuff, and I'm like, man, it don't even make sense half the time. He hasn't. He came out with a video yesterday saying taking accountability and stuff, and I don't know if that's overall referring to the situation. The memes, man, the freaking memes. They show this one meme. Shout out to well, it's an explicit name, but Versace, W-E-R. So to spell out their name, and you guys can write it down and find the tweet yourself. Actually, you know what? No, I'll retweet it. And you guys can go to my Twitter account and find it. That's funny. But it's of the family and us, the underground people, and they were dressed in red, holding hands outside one of the other family's house. And they're all Will, Jada, Jaden, and Willow rocking up to... rocking up at the Shane Dawson estate. Yeah, Shane Dawson, I'm man, hopefully you can get through this. Hopefully you can. If not, then just understand you messed up. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, though. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.